After more than 2 years of not leaving mainland China, Chinese leader Xi Jinping crossed the nominal Chinese border and traveled to the special autonomous region of Hong Kong on June 30th. To celebrate the former British colony's 25th anniversary of returning to China, roads were blocked, drones were banned, 30,000 police deployed, thousands of guests and event staff quarantined, and rumors spread to guarantee Xi's safety. What's behind the unusual security measure of Xi Jinping's visit to Hong Kong? Hi everyone, welcome to Lay's Real Talk. I'm Lay. Happy July 4th. As I'm filming this, there are fireworks behind me. Hope you don't hear them as noises. The pandemic has become a convenient excuse for communist leaders to exercise heavy-handed security control. When Xi Jinping gave a speech at the train station after arriving in Hong Kong, he was kept a distance of over 10 meters from the welcoming officials. He wore a mask almost throughout his visit. He also did not shake hands with people. All those whom Xi would be in contact with, dignitaries and staff members, had to go through prior quarantine. Also, all of his activities were indoors. Xi never stepped outside. The unprecedented level of security during his visit only shows that Xi doesn't feel confident of having complete control of Hong Kong. Over the past 25 years, more than 1 million mainland Chinese has immigrated to Hong Kong. They are primarily privileged CCP elites and their families, the largest group of which belongs to the Jiang Zemin faction. The various CCP colleagues are loyal to different masters and have their various business interests in Hong Kong. The CCP factions are so intertwined that it's not always clear who is loyal to whom, since some of them can be two-faced. Many do not take orders from Xi Jinping and may have become his sworn enemies under Xi's anti-corruption crackdown. Hong Kong has always been a stronghold of the Jiang faction. Given the intensity of the long-standing power struggle, Xi most definitely feared for his safety by setting foot on the island. Previously, all communist leaders took an airplane when they visited the former British colony. This included Xi Jinping himself the last time he visited Hong Kong in 2017. But this time, Xi chose to take the high-speed rail. The avoidance of airplanes is obviously due to security concerns. This reminds us of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, who is famous for preferring trains over planes out of safety concerns. It's said that Kim uses a pilot train in front of his train to scout the tracks. When Kim travels to China via train, Beijing provides security along the way. Train stations are closed and local streets are monitored. Another communist dictator who liked trains was Mao Zedong. It was said that Mao traveled by airplane in the early days. His security personnel suggested that he travel by trains. Later, people called Mao's personal train Zhongnanhai on wheels. Despite efforts to ensure his safety, Mao's train travels weren't incident-free. On June 18, 1955, when Mao's train was passing through the Xiaoshan area of Hangzhou, the security guards on board heard a thud. They found a small hole in the glass of one car and immediately started an investigation. They found that a local farmer, resting by the rail track when Mao's train went by, threw a stone at it for fun. The farmer ended up in jail for his misdeed. Another notorious train incident happened in 1971 when Mao's chosen successor Lin Biao allegedly planned a coup against Mao. And one of the key elements in the plot was to attack Mao's train with a rocket or a 100mm anti-aircraft gun. But in the end, the plot was foiled, and Lin and his family died in an airplane crash while escaping northbound, possibly to Russia. This is the CCP's official account of the incident. We don't know whether it's true or not, but the other individuals involved were imprisoned. The second unusual aspect of Xi's visit to Hong Kong is that he didn't ride in cars provided by the Hong Kong government, which is typically a BMW 7 Series limousine, like the one he rode in when he visited Hong Kong in 2017. He also rode in a Mercedes S-Class while visiting Macau in 2019. But this time, she rode in a Chinese-made bulletproof luxury limo especially made for him. It is an upgraded version of his usual Hongqi N501, which is equipped with high-level armor that can withstand heavy bullet fire and even direct impact from bombs. Hongqi is the oldest car maker in China and mainly manufactures vehicles for visiting dignitaries and party elites. The brand name means red flags in Chinese. One other security detail people noticed was that when Xi left the government house on June 30th, after the dinner, he switched to a different Hongqi limo. We know this because the license plate was different. This shows you the level of security involved. After attending dinner at the government house on day one of his visit, Xi returned to Shenzhen for the night and commuted back to Hong Kong the next day via train to attend the formal anniversary celebrations and the swearing of the city's new chief executive. She obviously didn't feel safe staying overnight in Hong Kong. In fact, when he first visited Hong Kong 5 years ago, he stayed overnight at the Renaissance Harbor View Hotel, where more than 8,000 police officers were on alert to protect him. This time, he knew that he had made more enemies in the past few years. And even though there were 30,000 police on duty to ensure his safety, he did not dare to stay in Hong Kong. Another security detail, and a rather ridiculous one, is that authorities seem to have deliberately disclosed misinformation about Xi's itinerary. The first place she visited after arriving on day one was the Taipo Science Park, but the Hong Kong officials made people believe that she would go to the Grand Hyatt Hotel or Renaissance Harbor View Hotel to meet local dignitaries. Using two hotels was for security, so people wouldn't know which hotel he actually would visit. In the end, he went to neither hotel, but instead went to the science park. Hong Kong media reported that she would not attend the dinner hosted by Hong Kong's outgoing chief executive Carrie Lam that was planned at the government house, but she did attend the dinner that evening. And on July 1st, the media reported that she would not visit the Chinese PLA's garrison in Hong Kong, but she went to the military barracks at noon on the second day and stayed for half an hour. 7 media outlets, including Minbao, Hong Kong No. 1, South China Morning Post, and Now TV, were notified last minute on the 29th that they had been disqualified from covering the event, citing security concerns. This was not as simple as it appeared because media outlets in Hong Kong are affiliated with different factions. Among the above-mentioned media, some are considered to be linked to the Jiang faction. The last thing that seemed odd about Xi's Hong Kong visit is that unlike Western media, which gave Xi's visit extensive coverage with details and commentaries, state-controlled mainland Chinese media kept the coverage low profile. Perhaps Xi doesn't feel confident about his trip or about Hong Kong's status quo. Another reason could be that Xi's visit coincided with CCP's 101st anniversary, and Hong Kong couldn't get more coverage than the party. In 1997, the year Hong Kong was returned to China's sovereignty, Hong Kong's GDP was greater than the combined GDP of Shanghai, Beijing, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, and Chongqing, 5 of China's most developed cities. After 25 years, Hong Kong has fallen behind all 5 cities and ranks number 6 in terms of GDP among all Chinese cities. Under the CCP's rule, Hong Kong has lost its appeal as a major financial center of the Far East, and the CCP doesn't seem to care. Here's the video about Russian stock exchange trading Hong Kong-listed Chinese stocks. Check it out. Thank you for watching. That's all for today. See you soon.